Oh shit, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing out there? This is Intergalactic Interviews, and this is episode 141. Oh shit, how you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, across from me is a very esteemed gentleman that I'm going to look up the word esteemed, make sure it means what I think it means.
I think so.
Definitions are going to be a heavy theme throughout this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, across from me we have the wonderful, the talented Chris James.
Hey,
Chris
man.
James,
Hey, what's going on?
Your last name is kind of like my first name.
It's actually my middle name. My last name's Chambers.
Chambers,
Yeah.
Chris Chambers.
Oh. Chris, do you want to hear this?
Doxing yourself right now, bro?
No. Well, no, I'm open about my real name. But do you want to hear the funny reason why I changed my name to Chris James for comedy? Or do you have to do something?
Wait
right
a minute.
away?
No, Chris Chambers. That sounds familiar. Why did you have to change
Well,
your
see,
name?
that's why. Because
Okay.
you see, because there's this guy, when I started comedy, there was a wide receiver, and his name was Chris Chambers. And I was like, after my first show I ever did, I got really confident because all my friends were in the crowd,
Yeah.
and they all laughed at my jokes. So they made me think I was like, oh, I'm going to be the best comic. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to have a Wikipedia, was what I was thinking after my
Right.
first show.
Right.
And then I was like, and I don't want my fans.
First entry did a show.
Yeah. Well, no, I was thinking later on, but I was already had it in my mind. This is how arrogant I was with and then so I was like, I'll have a Wikipedia. I don't want to have to do the redirection. I don't want to have to do like the disambiguation thing between me and the other Chris Chambers. So I was like, I'll go by my first and middle name. Now you're looking at me as if to say, well, isn't there a lot of other Chris Jameses? And the answer is yes. A number more. And so it was not a smart
That's
maneuver.
okay. You hitched yourself to that cart. It's fine.
And by the way, just so they don't think I'm really, after my second show, I didn't think that anymore.
Yeah.
But I was already had my name.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now they just call you Chris Humble.
Yes.
Chris Humble. I'm here with Chris Humble. He's Chris James actually has a comedy album out right now called Bottom Text.
Yes.
It's available now on iTunes.
I actually do have two, but a new one.
Your new one is
Yes,
what I'm
I have
plugging.
two of them. Now I sound really
Chris
arrogant.
James, we're just throwing
in the beginning.
Not
Hey,
really.
that's actually
Well,
two
I do
albums.
have two. I'm like,
Yeah,
Chris James,
no.
I'm trying to plug your most recent album, actually.
Yes, thank
sir.
you. Thanks.
I'm trying to let everyone know about Bottom Text, available now on iTunes if they go and check it out. You also host a new web series called Not Even a Show.
Yes.
That's available on YouTube right now.
He doesn't. It looks like he's reading it off there, but he knows this stuff.
I do know this stuff.
He just wants the wording to be right.
I did. Actually, that's the only reason.
I know.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, I do host that. I mean, I host it in the sense that I just make it in my home.
You're more like, saying a host is disingenuous. You're actually like the content creator. You do pretty much
There's
everything.
other people that help me. So like people like Gavin Matz is another stand-up comic.
Right, yeah.
And he helps me. And then my friend Stefan Heck, who's like an online guy. He
does
in
your
Hollywood.
Holly Weird segment.
Yes, well, he moved to Hollywood for his job, and so we do a segment where he fills me in on what's going on in Hollywood.
It's really, honestly,
But he doesn't leave
I
the
love
house;
it.
he just goes to his work, and he's never met any famous people.
Yeah, it's so good.
So it's hard. Plus,
like-
he doesn't want to be on the show.
Yeah.
So I have to like surreptitiously record him and then take photos of him from Facebook and use Face App to
Yes.
change to smiles and make it look like we're having a conversation.
The effort you put into the editing is just honestly alone worth the watch. Like
Yeah.
you put a lot of work into it, a lot more work than we put into our show. That's for sure. So I'm that's why I'm like, okay, people should definitely check it out. It's called Not Even a Show.
Yeah, you can look it up. It's on at Twitter at Not Even a Show.
That's right.
But yeah, and then you can just look it up. There's nothing else called that, which is cool. I wasn't sure if someone had already thought of that
Smart.
idea.
It seems likely that there would be.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
what I
like
thought.
you learned recent lessons.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But the idea
I
is
assume
like,
everything's been called
Me too.
everything.
Yeah. That's what whenever I think of an idea, I always go to Twitter and like I'll like, yeah, someone's definitely, and 9 times out of 10 someone has. Yeah.
I have this theory though that like whatever is searched every day, the coolest shit gets filtered into Google, and Google's like, register that.
Oh, you think Google's like people
Fucking
just
why
search
not?
it?
Skimming the searches.
Skimming, yeah, why not?
Wow,
why
that's
not?
A really
I think
cool
you're giving him a lot of
conspiracy
credit.
I
theory.
think about that all the time. I'm like, that's a cool idea. I don't want to Google it.
Yeah.
Just in case. And then you
Wow.
find out 2 million other people have already done it. When we got Intergalactic Interviews, I was very excited because I was thinking like, sweet. But then I remember when Kyle Bottom did the show, Kyle was like, yeah, did
Oh, that's pretty good.
he's like, did you know about Intergalactic by Beastie Boys? My dad. And I was like, dude, that's fucking that's a good one. People often think it's Intergalactic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh no, I think it's a really good. Yeah, that's another one that was surprising that you were able to, because that seems like something people would do. Like,
It does seem like it's alliteration and everything. Like
the idea behind the name of my show is because I figured that I put it on the internet. And people are so mean on the internet. People are always like, "Hey, this sucks." That's what people love to say on YouTube. That's where I put it. Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, this is the worst thing I've ever seen." Sometimes they'll say, "You should take your own life."
Yeah,
sometimes
classic.
Chris. Sometimes they'll tell you to take your own life because you made a piece of entertainment that you put out to try to make them laugh
for free.
And you worked at it, and they'll say, as a result of me watching this, I believe you should die. But so I thought
by your own hand.
Yes, exactly, and yeah.
Sometimes they just wish death on you, not by your own hand.
Yeah, I feel like it. Yeah, true. Sometimes they say, "I wish you die of cancer." That's a big one. I hope you die. I hope you get a really bad disease. But so I figured, hey, if I'm gonna put this thing out, I want to make sure to protect myself. So this way, it's called the Not Even a Show, and we make sure to mention that it is not a show. And so that way, when people say, "Hey, this is the worst show I ever seen," then I say, with all due respect, it's not actually a show.
Not a show.
And so we've had to use it a few times already. Like they tried to sue copyright infringement things. They said, "Hey, you can't use this on your show," and we said it's not a show. Turns out that does not work for copyright infringement.
Yeah,
that's odd.
But yeah,
and those are billable hours for the lawyer still. Even if they're like, you're like, but they're not billable hours. You're like, no.
Yeah,
we still charge you for that.
That's right.
Yeah, I love the show's setup. I love the flow of it. It's always like, it's okay.
Should we say what it kind of is? So people are kind of like, because I know if I was listening, I'd be like, what are they?
In your own words, what is it?
Well, it's like a collection of pranks and sort of sketches. A lot of them involve phone calls and pranks. But yeah, it's like
you do an amazing prank series right now.
Yeah, which one are you talking about?
There's two concurrent. Well, I don't want to bury the lead, but basically the Kurt Schilling stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is what I like to do is there's these alt-right radio call-in shows. One of them being Kurt Schilling's. He's an ex-baseball pitcher. You might recognize.
Also, video game developer,
starter.
That's right. Unfortunately, yeah.
I actually got him about 38 Studios on my show.
C-Mart works for Relic, so.
Okay. So you're well aware.
Yeah.
They had one successful game.
Yeah, right? Kingdoms of Amalur, I believe it's called.
Yeah, it's a very highly rated.
Yeah, it's a great game.
What's the name of their studio?
38 Studios, which is
the name of their games. Kingdoms of what?
Amalur.
Amalur.
But 38 Studios is from his name is Gehrig 38. I think it's Luke Gehrig's number. He's obsessed with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that, but yeah. But 38 Studios bankrupted the state of Rhode Island.
They made some weird.
Seriously?
It's a weird move.
I mean, no, it was weirdly. They took all this. They gave them taxpayer money, like hundreds of millions of dollars, to come and set up shop in Rhode Island and build this because they were sort of sold on this lie, and then it bankrupted.
You did call him on this though on this show.
No. So that's what I was going to say. So basically, he has a radio show on Breitbart.com. Everybody knows Breitbart.
Yeah, well-respected media.
They're very fair and balanced.
So he's like this really terrible. He got fired from his show from his spot on Fox Sports. I think for something to do with something that's in the news right now. Transgender. He made a lot of during the bathroom issue. He was making a lot of anti-transgender comments.
Yeah,
and he got fired and then got a Breitbart show. So I realized he video streams his, much like you guys do.
Yeah.
But he does it live on Periscope, and he video streams his entire 3 hours. And I realized when I was calling, I realized I can get his footage, and then I can edit it together for my own purposes, not legally.
Fair use, man. That's how that works.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it because Periscope, I have to use this special downloader and then do all this. But anyways, so I get his footage. I phone his show and bother him. And then I take the footage and edit it.
Pretty delighted when you call, and then it's almost like he forgets every time how bad it gets, and then like he'll be like, "Oh yeah, Chris from California, Chris from Calgary, Chris from." So funny,
I have 3 different phone numbers.
Yeah.
I think I have a landline and a cell number, and they happen to be a 604 and a 778, which is really handy because in America they don't look up the area code; they just assume those are 2 different places. So I can call all the shows with those 2 numbers, and then I have my Skype one as well. So I can really harass them. And it took me a while to get. I'm banned now from Kurt Schilling,
which is unfortunate because it was
until you get a new number.
Oh, but we have have. Don't worry. I mean, I now realize all I have to do is make a 3-way call with somebody over Skype, and then they get through the call screener, and then as soon as I'm on the air,
how much is it to just change your number?
Sorry?
How much is it to just change your number?
Quite a bit.
Oh, it's
yeah. You have to get like a new line. Yeah, I've looked into it. You can get a Skype number. That's a really good thing to do. Is you can get like a Skype number for anywhere in North America.
What do you call that? Like a VIN or is that what is that?
A VoIP?
A VoIP?
That's voice over IP. Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, you can get like, which can be really handy. You can get like a middle of America phone number to really throw people off.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Give me the Wisconsin special.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I basically I wake up at 6 a.m. to make prank phone calls.
Dedication, my friends.
To
that
Kurt
is
Schilling.
dedication. So good.
And then and I put the videos up, and that's one of my editing for comedic purposes is one of my favorite things, and I'm sort of obsessed with it and learning how to do it. So that's kind of what it is I try to take footage and say, how can I extrapolate the most humor? That makes it sound fucking terrible and scientific and not funny at all.
If you extrapolate,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
there's a science to it, and the way you're able to effectively use vision and execute is well practiced.
Well, thank you. There's Vic Berger is a guy who I like. I mean, obviously Tim and Eric, Vic Berger.
I was gonna say I get very Tim Heidecker vibes.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with Tim and Eric. There's no doubt about it. I steal. I mean, there's so many things that like Doug Pound, DJ Doug Pound is actually he was an editor for them and did a lot of that stuff.
Really?
For Tim and Eric, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so I realized that him and like Vic Berger have done most of that stuff. So it's kind of hard to do editing for comedic purposes without stealing from them. Like it's, I try to think of things, though. But it's those guys are two of the best. Todd Dracula as well is great online.
Do you know something about what you just said there about it's hard not to steal. It's well,
don't like isolate that. It's just hard not to steal from people.
Yeah. Let's take these comments totally out of context. Let's go into what I mean by that is something about that though is like, isn't it weird that there are certain aspects of art where like if you do something similar to it, people are like, this is just ripping this off and fuck this, whatever.
Yeah.
But if there's not enough of the original whatever, the original inspiration, if there's not enough of that, people are like, fuck yeah, give me some more. Like they don't even give a shit.
Well, I think one big, you're talking about like we're stand-up. So if you took somebody's, like I do stand-up comedy by trade.
Yeah, that's obviously you're not stealing jokes.
So in stand-up, you cannot borrow from people, but
you can try.
You can, and people do, but it's heavily frowned upon.
Yeah, I know.
And so
it's a good way to fucking
guess
fuck
what?
Up.
It's still happening.
Oh,
right?
most definitely. It happens hugely now, especially with the internet where people will go mine like middle of the run YouTube comics from 7 years ago and stuff that they don't think are doing it anymore, and they'll take bits from that. There's like still bullshit like that happens. But I think a big difference between for example, not to defend myself when you're not
don't
attacking
be an
me,
apologist for yourself, Chris.
but is that stand-up is a personal thing where you're meant to be telling a story and it's meant to have some personal element to it. So it's your story. It's you sharing that with people. Editing isn't that.
Right.
Editing is a very formulaic thing that you can do something away. So I mean, I don't think it's
like
okay.
Sampling almost.
Yeah, totally.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And it's not, and it's not like I don't just watch a Vic Berger or a Tim and Eric video and think, what can I do to steal from
frame by frame?
No, I don't think like that. The problem is I watch a lot of that stuff, and then I look at the editing and I think, what would make this funny? And a lot of the times, they look and would see the same thing. That of course it would be funny when he wipes his mouth like that to pull in super close on his mouth. I mean, that's not, that's the equivalent of like somebody in the crowd being like, dropping their drink and you make some comment that any hack would make, like that's acceptable.
Off the cuff,
Yeah.
When there's one Kurt Schilling scene, I think it's in episode 2 or 3, he was just rolling like a pencil or something. Yeah. He was trying to get it, but it was like the funny, I know this doesn't sound funny, but watching the edit that Chris does in the video is so funny because Chris has taken him to task over something. And
not knowing what the word defame means.
Yeah. And
that's what I call him about all the time. He messed that up one time.
He's definitely accessing like one part of his brain.
Yes.
And you can see him trying to use the motor functions on the other. And he's like, it's just not computing.
Yes, exactly.
And so, exactly, right? Like, so I'm watching this. I was like, I was laughing, like by myself, laughing my fucking ass off.
I appreciate that. But that is exactly why it was so important to me to have the video. I called some of these shows that just have a radio. There's some of these horrible radio hosts who have just audio, and it just isn't the same without them on video and you capturing things like that, where they forget they're being recorded and they get really upset and they're not able to contain it. Wayne Dupri on the most recent one, he's a homophobic guy, and when I start calling him on
he's
being
like really homophobic,
really
right?
like a religious guy who's like gay people shouldn't be allowed to be married because it's disgusting and it's like pedophilia or necrophilia.
Can you pull up a photo of this guy just so we can show our live viewers as well? Chris,
possibly.
keep going.
And the beauty of the thing about Wayne Dupri, he's the new guy I call after being banned from Kurt, but he is really.
We didn't even cover that. By the way, banned for life from the Kurt Schilling
and
show.
I've called a number of times. But Wayne Dupri, he looks like
you even chased him onto another.
Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah,
that's what,
not Jermaine.
Somehow
Dupri.
Jermaine Dupri came up when he looked that up.
He's like
it's
deaf.
D-U-P-R.
Yeah, D-U-P-R-E.
Yeah,
sorry.
Dupri.
That was pretty ethnic though for you to put like.
Yes, you were thinking he was Wayne that.
Dupri.
There he is. So this is
Wayne Dupri, also known as the News Ninja. Oh,
yes, he was a blogger. He's a conservative blogger.
That's a loss already.
But he's when you see him on screen, he's a little bit harder to deal with. That's why I kind of had to show the terrible things he said, because Kurt's this real dickhead, but Wayne Dupri's like this laughing, fun-loving guy who you kind of want to love. He's really affable. I even say that to him on the show.
He's the News Ninja though. What the fuck is that all about?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just some blogging thing. But yeah, he got going his thumbs when I started talking about some gay thing. And he thought I was gay. He started to try to make fun of me by saying I was gay, and then his fingers, and I was like zooming in on it. He's just, and they forget that they're being recorded for so long. When you're live streaming for that period of time, you just forget the cameras are on, and you get tons of amazing footage. You know,
he's definitely got like there's a weird closeted something going on there.
Oh, I have a theory. Do you want to know my theory? I think that I was trying to figure out why anyone could be homophobic.
Right.
So I tried to figure out in my head, because I thought religion would be one way, right? Mm-hmm. But then even that, I thought that doesn't really excuse it, because there's plenty of religious people who are not homophobic, and you'd have to pick and choose things out of the Old Testament if you wanted to be. So it's still coming from a different place than just religion. And I was taught things when I was young, and then I grew up and understood them not to be true.
Yeah.
So I think everyone who's really homophobic and outwardly is themselves is gay or bisexual
100%.
And really feels really conflicted about it and is acting out in that way. It's the only logical reason, but I don't know if logic comes in.
Right.
Of course, but I think it's everyone. I think any single person that goes out of their way to publicly be homophobic or to say anything about is themselves gay or bisexual. I don't know what that's like, and it's not. Yeah, I don't know what that.
You definitely have a wealth of examples we can choose from that are like so over the top, unbelievable.
Yeah.
What was the name of that priest? He got caught.
Well, there's a preacher, there's a famous video and it's humorous.
Yeah.
But it's this flamboyant gay preacher
He's
at one of those
powerfully
saving.
Gay.
Yeah, and he's saying like, "Good Lord, I've been saved." And he's like, and it's humorous.
He's like this kind of gay. He's like,
because you're like,
the food is here.
Yeah, like you're watching, like, and it's humorous and then sad when you really think about it from the larger scale that this is a man who's now being forced to live an entire lie because of this church. And he's gonna hate himself as a. Anyways, we shouldn't get into serious stuff.
No, we can talk about whatever. I would think it's funny that there's a guy who is able to succeed despite all his fucking crazy shit. I just realized the sun was in your eyes. There is it still in your eyes?
Oh no, it doesn't bother me at all. No.
I don't have any complimentary shades I can give you.
I have my shades.
You have your shades. People might think you're a bit of a D.
Yeah, that's why I didn't put them on in the beginning when I was saying like,
I actually have 2 albums.
Yeah.
Put on the
man,
shades.
can we edit that part out?
I'm gonna amplify. Actually, using your editing techniques, I will
amplify that.
Yes,
you'll say 3 albums.
Yeah,
you'll change my mind to say that I have 3.
What was the Bryan Adams song you used in the Hollywoods?
Well, it was "Please Forgive Me."
Oh yeah, please don't
record me. Don't record me. Yeah, that's because Stefan, my friend, doesn't want to be on the show. But I was really worried I'd get. It's weird how they. Do you want? You'll find this interesting.
Okay, what's up?
This is a music thing. So I use the music I use in the background of my.
My next question was, who is Hollow Moon?
Hollow Moon they're a band. They tour around. A friend of mine though, my younger brother, stepbrother, used to play in a band called Red Cedar, and so it's a band member of his and friend of mine named Colin plays drums in this band. Really, really good band. fan. And so I asked Colin, I said, hey, Colin, can I use your music? He lives down the street from me. And I said, Colin, can I use your song? And he said, yeah, of course. And then I got a copyright claim from their U.S. distributor.
Oh, yeah.
Some person in like some office
well,
that's never...
It's an algorithm,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
But it was just funny to me, the idea of it. It made me laugh. The idea that like... me and him live down the street from each other. I literally asked my friend if I could use their music. He said, no problem.
Yeah.
And then some algorithm in some office with some American dude that neither of us have ever spoken to.
Yeah.
It's always like, the third.
No. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
There's more important things.
The same thing happens with booking all the time.
What do you mean?
I can set up a show, book a guest.
Yeah.
Come do the show. They're into it. I'm into it. Let's do it. Fuck yeah. Hey, would you mind just running this through my booker really quick, my agent or whatever? I'm like, sure, no problem. Fucking yeah. I'll do it. Show dies immediately. And because they want to have their own little caveats or fuck. They want to throw all their little conditions on. They're like, well, actually, we really appreciate if there's no video. And I'm like, what? Why the fuck would you handicap the show immediately? Like right from the beginning. I'm like, let's start fresh. And then they're like, it's too late for that. And I'm like, okay, well then that's it.
Yeah, those people, and people who are not creative sometimes are like, sometimes it's like really important to have them around for certain reasons, but when they're not,
sometimes they just want it, like they got to justify whatever the fuck their retainer is or whatever. Like so I look at it like, because I've dealt with some of these people before, is they're not creative, like you said, but they need to, if you give them a perfect idea, they'll piss on it and just add their one little tweak to it to show value. You know what I mean?
In TV.
Like
the way
that kind of
TV
thing.
executives, they would always say, it doesn't happen as much anymore. But yeah, that would be the idea of it for real. Like some really creative comedian who's like a genius maybe would bring this idea forward for this piece of art and then say, hey, let's see if people love this because, people love my stand-up or whatever. And then some person who has a job that they have to justify because they can't just say, yep, put it through, because then they literally are sitting in an office doing nothing. So they're like, okay, I have to do something and I have to say change that or whatever. And then problem is you had a lot of those people at those major networks that had to justify their job, and then they're putting their hands on it. But yeah, I guess it doesn't happen as much anymore because it's been proven to, like Louis or whatever, prove that it's better to
definitely that someone can just kind of step up like yourself and just take it all into your own
Yes, myself
hands.
And Louis very similar.
Yes, a nice equivalent I've drawn
That's right.
here.
Louis has like 5 billion people have watched it. Mine have 140 views. That's how.
This is how we foster that growth. I start by subliminally drawing, equal comparisons to you and Louis.
Well, I could make it like I could pretend like edit it to make it seem like Louis on my show.
Yeah, that's right.
That would be smart.
That would be pretty good. I think that definitely won't get flagged.
I mean, I'm illegally using. I mean, the truth of it is like I sometimes say starring Kurt Schilling and starring Wayne Dupri in my show, and that's what I want to do because I at least have like one of the viewers called in recently and did their own prank call to Wayne Dupri, and I used that footage. But my dream really is to have enough people watching and to get people to call the show and say to Kurt and Wayne, just say, hey man, you're my favorite on the Not Even a Show. Like, when are you going to do another episode? And then they're like, no, man, I'm not on that show.
When are you going to do another appearance?
Episode? And like just make it ignorant, like make it seem like they're ignorant and they think they're part of the show.
That's funny.
And then use the footage of them being like, I'm not on the Not Even a Show. I don't authorize him to use that footage because they both blocked me on Twitter, the show's Twitter account.
It's really smart.
I think they've seen it.
I think after the third call, I would have blocked you too. After the third call, I'd be like, I don't know if this guy is going to change.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the problem is I have like 100 Twitter accounts. And so I can go back into Periscope.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly. Don't.
I have so many of them. Yeah.
Don't lift the.
How do you manage the passwords? Like, do you have an app, or do you have a list, or is it all the same, or like
all the same?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, all the passwords are the same except for one, which is like my original. That's just my actual account has like my old password from the beginning that I know, and then all the other ones have
managing
the same.
passwords is a fucking bitch.
Yeah, I just use I just use 2 or 3 different ones. If I use 2 or 3 different ones, then I know that like they give you 2 or 3 tries usually, then I'll get it. So I'll know it's those.
Yeah, I've pulled that.
I think you're fucking brilliant, dude.
Whoa, weird.
That's just hard compliments right away.
That's nice of you to say. I think that I am very dumb. How about that for a counter?
All right, yeah. You're like, let's meet in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're brilliant. I'm dumb, very dumb.
Yeah,
no. I think you're. If I can highlight something, in stand-up, I think your delivery is like fucking like uncanny. Like it's.
That's nice. That's nice to say. I hate stand-up at the moment. I haven't done it in such a long time. I recorded that album and then I didn't get the Just for Laughs festival.
That's disheartening when
I had a good showcase. The year before I had a bad showcase and I wasn't expecting to get it. I had gotten it the year before for the first time and then I thought, oh no, they won't take anyone back from the homegrown competition, which is what I was in.
Right.
Turns out they took everybody back except for me.
Oh no.
And so I didn't really
sending a message.
Yeah.
Shots fired for sure.
And I got runner up in the competition. My best friend won it in comedy and I got runner up and I did well and I was feeling confident and they didn't bring me back. They brought a lot of the other people back and I was like, oh man. And then this year I suppose I did it. I thought I had a good showcase and I was feeling confident and it was very disheartening. I don't mind saying publicly that it was like it's really hard because your self-worth in the industry of stand-up is placed in one very nice lady. You know, she booked me for it before, but she's it's just a person.
I totally know the whole situation.
Yeah, so that
and
it's a few, but it's like, you know, you put a lot of your self-worth into that, and then when it doesn't happen for you, you feel not that worthy. You think, am I a failure? Am I not that good at this? You know,
you get caught up in the journey to the accomplishment, and when the accomplishment is like a different postal code or a zip code or whatever the fuck of like wherever you want it to be, suddenly you find yourself doubting the steps.
Most definitely. And then I started thinking to myself, do I want to be in an industry where
constantly
every year it comes around, and if I don't get this
shitty Christmas
reaffirmation,
Christmas.
Totally. and it's really difficult, and comics will all tell you it's difficult because social media becomes ablaze with everybody speaking of Just for Laughs and sharing their experiences, and you're happy for them who are your friends and you're excited, but it's reminder after reminder that like, you didn't do well enough this year, Chris. You didn't do well enough. You didn't. You failed this year.
Have you forgotten?
Yeah. Have you forgotten, by the way, that you tried to get into this as well?
Chris, did you know that Just for Laughs is happening this past week? You're like, fuck, I know. I'm totally aware.
But so I took it hard, and I take that type of stuff maybe a little harder. I don't know that I have the skin for stand-up in that sense. You know?
That is so... I think my first reaction to that is to say that is so strange to hear you say that, because I think you're like such a natural stand-up.
Yeah, thank you.
I think...
Yeah, it's not the stand-up so much. It's like I said, it's I think that I don't have enough confidence in myself in that just inherently. That's what my therapist says.
Yeah.
Says that I just need to have more confidence in myself. So if I didn't place so much weight in that type of thing, it wouldn't matter so much, and I wouldn't have such a problem, I don't think, and I would be able to just do stand-up. But because I'm searching for somebody to tell me that you're great and you're doing a great job in life, that comes up every year with stand-up. It's where you have that. Does somebody say, listen, all these people in the world were trying and you beat them all out and you got to that thing that everyone tried to get to. And so, for me, I put too much, as much as I try to I say, oh no, this year I'm not gonna care, and then I do. So I haven't done stand-up other than gigs I booked before in a month, since I did my album, probably.
Well, you know what though? It's not uncommon in a release structure.
It's not just me that it's hot in here, right?
It is actually pretty warm.
It's a little warm. I think what they've done is they're cleaning one of the tanks back there, and it's pretty warm. I'm sorry to put you in that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab you some paper towel or something.
Oh, are those towels right there?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't just use towels from the floor to wipe your face off?
I think those might actually predate our
I can go get
here.
it.
So you guys aren't the kind of guys...
I'll just chat for a minute here. Yeah. You know what? I was going to say, failure, perceived failure is not, obviously it's not exclusive to the branch of comedy.
No, for sure.
Under the entertainment umbrella from a music perspective. In the release structure, you work like so long and so hard on a product, just like doing an hour or something like that, getting your special together, something like that. You work so long and so hard at putting something together in the best possible way. And with music, it's, you're hoping people are going to have moments to this forever, right?
Yeah.
That's the ideal. So when you're existing in an industry right now where everything's disposable, like everything's super disposable. Occasionally something rises through that's like, whoa, I'll bump this forever. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
But you deal a lot with the idea that like you're functioning with this like disposable aspect all the time. So suddenly you find yourself like, hey, I didn't get into this. Here's some paper towel, bro. Thanks, C-Mart. Appreciate that, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Probably should keep that closed. Might get a little loud.
Yeah.
Just in case there's clientele out there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Seriously though, I think what I was saying was, you know.
You were trying to give me a big pep talk. You felt like I was in need of a pep talk.
Classic MD.
That's what I came on here for. That's what I really like to do. I always put things on people like that. I like to go around to different interviews and just be like, hey, man, I'm having like an existential crisis about my life in comedy. No, I go through it all the time, to be honest. And so I always kind of struggle with the idea of like, I also don't like to travel. I hate traveling. I like community. I like being in my own. I like that a lot. And so to do stand up and to really have it as your vocation, you have to travel around the world and do stand-up.
There's a lot of things running against you there.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just think,
but you're good at it though. Like you're really fucking
that's why
good.
I keep doing it, because I got success early on and I was able to make a living, and I record those albums and I put them out on Sirius and I make a living doing stand-up.
Yeah,
for sure. And I appreciate it and I love it for that. But I'm not like some people that are like, man, I was born to do stand-up and I'll do it till I die. And like, I would love to always do it for fun. I'd like to go up and talk to people in the best circumstances at the best shows. But yeah.
But this new kind of thing seems like really suited for you then.
Yeah.
In the sense that like when you do shows, you've been building this, I'm sure, ridiculous stories of like random bullshit. And like,
it is true.
And it kind of like feeds itself. And if you just do them as much as you're comfortable, you can kind of like balance that.
Yeah,
most
definitely. Most definitely. I mean, I was saying to Jayme before we started recording, as part of the show that I'm doing, I also have a fake Trump Twitter account. It's like,
which is fucking brilliant.
Well, I'm starting I have a fake radio show, a fake right-wing radio show, internet radio show.
The depth that you went to put this together is unbelievable.
I mean, I have a full website that you can go to that has fake archives, has a photograph, it has a history, it has like a real like live streaming, everything. And the idea is I'm going to build this brand up for a few months, 3-4 months.
You got to keep this under wraps though, for
3 or 4 months. I just build it up and make it seem as if I'm doing shows, and then the idea is to eventually get it onto some lists for publicists and people for these right-wing conservative book people, and to try to have them book themselves on my show in a belief they're coming on a real conservative radio show, when in reality we'll have people waiting, callers who will be doing sketches.
Don't worry, Chris. We're third rate. We're third rate enough that no publicist will ever see this.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good because I haven't said what it is, right? Yeah, so my picture's my picture's not associated with it at all. I'm not like affiliated. There's no way that you could connect the two. And that my Twitter account I've had for 2 weeks, and it has more followers than my real Twitter account.
Oh my God.
Which kind of is upsetting, but
disheartening.
But also together not surprising.
It's like 12. I have 1,200 followers on that account in 2 weeks. The support that you get on there is
for being an asshole.
Not even for being an asshole.
Oh, okay.
But the story that I like to tell that sums it up the best for me, I think, is that at one point I try to be somewhat funny on there, but I don't want to tip my hand at all. So I'll do real subtle things. I won't really do. So like someone was saying Democrats are so stupid. Democrats are dumb. They love saying that. They love projecting saying Democrats are so dumb. And I said, very true, but I spelled very V-A-R-Y. And so, of course, I'm actually trying to make fun of someone's intellect.
This is what I like, because I get it.
Yeah.
Like I get all your, like, that, the pencil roll, all that. Like, I'm just like, I fucking get it. That's why I'm just like, So I spelled it very true. And somebody who's like an Antifa person who I fight with a lot, these Antifa people, when I'm on the Trump side, usually Antifa's no good. I don't think no matter what.
Any circle.
Tell you some stories about
I fight a lot of them when I'm on the Trump side. And so these guys are saying, hey, idiot, it's very, it's V-E-R-Y, which is I mean, I'm actually saying this guy's dumb. So it is somewhat relevant. It's not just splitting hairs to say that I've misused a very common, misspelled a very common word. But no one cared. All the Trump supporter people were like, hey, you little basement dwelling dweeb. They defended me in hordes of them. And I'll tell you, it felt good. It felt good to be like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter that because, and what made me realize, and what I realized a lot more with being in this Trump Twitter is that it's all these dumb people who have been told they're dumb their whole life, and they've been marginalized, and they've been pushed down by people who are smarter than them. All politicians are smarter, and they make them feel dumb. And they're in a place where they're empowered and where the intelligence is not the most important thing anymore. And so the idea like that it doesn't matter that I spelt very, I'm part of the Trump army and we're winning. And that's what's important. And it
does show a lack of
but it's also like
just interest in like research, you know, like
but just like people like saying it feels good, I think is a really important way of framing it, because I think that is a lot of it too, right? You said something stupid. And they're just like, that's wonderful.
I didn't have to feel embarrassed about it.
Keep doing that more. Like, you should do that more. And they're like, and then you go to bed and you're like, I don't feel as good anymore. I should keep, like, I can just keep talking.
Yeah.
And people will be around me.
And on Twitter, they follow you and they send you messages.
Social media
at
work,
right? And they retweet you. I made a meme. I made 3 memes. One of them got 100 retweets. What the fuck?
Just when I do, and all it says is like retweet if you think the mainstream media should shut up about Russia. So like this, like the lowest of the fruits.
And it's just a picture of Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. and an American flag. And it got retweeted 100 times. I did one with Donald Trump in this like holy thing, and it said God bless Donald Trump for bringing God back to America. I double used God. It's so clunky. Like 75 retweets, but the key to it is you tell them that you say like retweet if you believe this, and then if they feel like if they don't retweet it, it's like I guess that means I don't believe it. What if I do?
What if my neighbors retweeted and I don't, and they don't know that I'm a true patriot?
Yes, true patriot. It is a little bit weird because I do. My show that I do is very American slanted. I mean, I have an American flag. I have an American flag behind me.
At one point, you excused yourself because you were draped
in an American flag.
You're like, excuse me. And
you did watch it. Okay, cool. That's at the end of the most recent episode, too, so that shows you watched it.
I like to think that I keep a file on everyone who's doing cool shit.
That's cool, man. The reason also why I do it American slanted a little bit is because my friend Stefan, who's on the show, he works for an American political satire site. That's what he does. So I want to do, I'm trying to do some content to pitch to them for various purposes.
Yeah.
So, and of course, it's a little more, American politics is more interesting at this point. We can all agree.
It's not even
there's more,
question.
Especially after today. You see what happened today.
What, the mooch is gone? Did you know that?
Bonitis left.
Oh, did you know that though? The mooch, he's out.
Mooch.
That guy's a beauty though. That guy he got a divorce from his wife.
Think about this.
Did you know that?
In 11 days, he had an interview in the New Yorker, told Steve Bannon that he sucks his own cock, got divorced.
True legend.
Had a child.
Missed the birth. Missed the birth of his own child. And then was fired. That's why somebody tweeted out, some like person was like, this is not a funny story. Like, this is a sad story of a man who got a divorce from his wife to follow in this, like, who missed the birth of his child and now got fired. And then everyone's like, you dumb fuck, this is the funniest story in the world.
Exactly.
Like, this guy is the scummiest scumbag ever who tried to align himself with the scummiest president.
Have you seen the memes comparing him to the bonitis guy on Futurama?
Oh, yeah.
He looks exactly... Yeah, have you seen this?
Just wait. I got to wait till it kind of loops around.
Oh, yeah. So someone did an Austin Powers GIF.
Yeah.
This is really good. It's gonna loop now, right now. Yeah. Right here.
Well, that's at the end.
This is here we go. This is it here. Look at this, Steve Bannon. This tiny piece of shit. So I suck my own cock.
As mini me.
And then like the detail that changed the names on the phone. Was really good.
It's really good.
Get off the table. Sprays them down.
Yeah.
Is it part of the meme war?
I don't know. God,
do you guys know about the meme war?
No, I don't.
The meme war is a real thing. Yeah,
I believe
it goes on like the right versus the left, and they
Here with
believe the
alt-right.
right wing, alt-right people believe there's a meme war. Truly,
no.
and there's that it was that one that Donald, the famous one, the CNN,
the wrestling one. Is that the one the CNN guy? CNN doxed that poor kid, and that's fucked up. They put that kid on Front Street, literally. So some guy, just like one of us, made a meme. Put CNN.
Oh, yeah.
It's like on Donald Trump when he was in the WWE and he was with his feud and working that angle with
what,
Vince
Jeff
McMahon.
Tutorials, you mean?
What?
Oh, no, that's a different kid. But yeah.
Oh, no,
yeah.
The other guy. No, the CNN fucking doxed
The thing
this
is,
dude.
apparently, I have verification of this. That guy, the guy that kind of did the outing or whatever, he's known for that. Like he does a meticulous research on people, and
absolutely.
Like, so it wasn't like they singled this person out. Like, this what would have happened anyway.
Wait, you're talking about the author?
Yeah, like the guy that...
I still don't think it's right that the author, like, basically threatened... Because, like, they made him apologize in person.
I say dox everyone.
Just everyone. Go for it.
Just
Chris
scorched
James, man of the people.
I'm part of the dirtbag left.
We're with the coastal elite, Chris James.
By the way, the...
What's up?
Podcast sponsor...
Oh, it's about that time. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know, but...
I do. Why are you looking at me?
Chris James...
You told me before.
I was looking into your dreamboat eyes. Shout out to Kevin Banner. And his excellent album also out right now.
Yeah, he's really funny.
You're also really funny.
I love Kevin Banner. Sorry to break up the thing. Him and I have been talking a lot about the Chip Chipperson podcast, if you know what that is.
That's
Jim Norton in character.
It
is unbelievably funny. You don't even have to be a fan.
He's doing a live gig in New York, actually, upstate New York, pretty soon.
September 11th.
Yes, that's right. It is September 11th.
They keep talking that old date. It's celebrating 1 million downloads with a billion laughs.
I love Jim and Sam. Ever since they started doing their own thing last fall, it's fucking awesome.
Sorry, I broke up the ad.
Oh, that's okay. Ladies and gentlemen,
the combo.
if you have a computer or a phone in front of you, you should probably go over and log on to floathouse.ca. Now, why would you do that? Because you can go ahead and check out the premier isolation tank experience in the Lower Mainland. What? It's amazing. It's fantastic. It's Floathouse. We can get you 20% off your next float. How do we do that? Use our podcast promo code IIPodcast. That gets you 20% off your next float. What is floating exactly? Well, basically, it's the most tranquil experience you can ever have in your life as you sift through the universe in the darkest pod as you examine every memory you've ever had and unlock the mysteries of your mind. Or you could just enjoy the peace and quiet and relax. It's either or. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be so space travel-y. You can just be chill. Just relax, enjoy yourself. I like it because you get clean towels and like house coats and slippers. All the staff is super knowledgeable. It's really fun. It's basically like a spa for your mind. I love it. I float. We float. You should float. Check it out. Go ahead. I podcast. That's our podcast promo code. And go to floathouse.ca and use that podcast promo code 20% off your next float. What?
I've always wanted to float.
You've never floated before?
Never done it before, and I've always, ever since like when old Joe Rogan used to talk about it.
Dude, that's back in the first time I ever heard about it.
Yeah, I imagine a lot of people heard of it for the first time from Joe Rogan. He was a huge proponent.
Sure. He should catch a check.
He has his own.
I think he's doing okay.
I think
I don't think he's got so many things going on.
He's got an eye patch and a pencil and a cup. He's on the corner. He's tough times.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's doing it. Joe, are you a UFC fan?
Huge MMA fan.
Oh, cool. So you watch the pay-per-view, obviously.
First of all, that's how much of an asshole MMA fan I am. I say MMA. I'm like,
cool.
You train UFC?
No, I was asking you if you're a UFC fan. I'm a huge MMA fan too. I've watched UFC since
Chris
as well.
James.
I was asking you, like, are you specifically a UFC fan?
I'm an MMA fan. I'm a huge MMA fan. So
Okay.
is Chris Martin.
Cool.
And
Chris Martin from the band?
Yeah.
I
assume Chris Martin, the proper one, is
proper.
He likes it.
No. Like,
you don't think so?
Sorry, proper Chris Martin. You're like, yes, to my immediate right.
Yeah.
How many do people always say to you that?
It not as much as you would thankfully think, but
maybe years ago.
Yeah, it's definitely
when he was
happened.
like when he was more famous. He's not as big anymore.
When his kid's name
What's the other?
was
There's the other one.
Yeah.
Is it Drake? Who's the other Chris Martin?
No.
No.
Drake is named...
there's a few Chris Martins. Did you know DJ Premier is named
That's
Chris
the
Martin?
one. Sorry.
DJ Premier.
Drake is Aubrey Graham.
That's right.
I didn't know that.
Aubrey Drake Graham.
Yeah, that's his name. Sorry, what were we talking about?
I think we were just about to talk about how awesome the fucking fights were this week.
Oh, that's right. Well, I was going to say how funny it was because Joe Rogan always talks about 12 to 6 elbows.
Yeah.
Did you see the thing?
Course,
No.
yeah.
So, but he always talks about they outlawed them or they changed the rules and they are allowed now in certain. But anyways, the rules have changed a number of times.
Now you can use elbows on it. It's okay. First of all, in unified rules, it has been adopted.
Yeah.
However, some states have still not implemented the
That's right,
legislation.
yeah.
So some of the cards are still not doing it
so
yet,
Joe Rogan
it will
talks,
be.
he always talks about it, and Dominic Cruz does color with him now.
Do you like Dom doing commentary?
No, he's not good yet. My bro and I were just talking about it. He's not good at it yet, but I think that it takes a bit of time, and so they want to give him. I think Brian Stan's better than him. I like Dom, but I think Dom's a little bit too full of himself, and I think it bleeds through sometimes into his commentating when you just get this idea that this
he pushes Rogan out. They actually
don't like each other.
They don't do super well together.
They don't like each other.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's
you think they don't like each other?
Did you not watch that? At one point, he says to him, "Stop talking about that." Oh. He's talking about 12 to 6 elbows, and Dominic Cruz is like, "Will you stop talking about that?" Just says that to him, and then at another point
we were streaming it at a party we had.
Oh, I see. So you had the note, yeah. And during the Damian Maia fight, he was saying Damian Maia should throw a head kick. Damian Maia's like
throwing 3 head kicks this whole fucking career.
That's what Joe Rogan was saying, and then Dominic Cruz was like, "Well, I'm just saying I've seen him do it in training," and he's like, "But have you ever seen him do it in a fight?"
They're arguing,
and then they're arguing in the middle of this fight, and then you tell they're trying to.
See, I like that
like,
though, because like some of the best stuff ever was that like when Joe would shut down Goldberg.
Oh yeah,
all the time.
Goldberg was such.
He's often known as the Michael Jordan of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's like, no, he's not. No, he's not.
I would not use those words.
Yeah, okay, man. I think you would do that a lot. Like, yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah. Goldberg was terrible in the beginning. Like, he got a lot better, obviously. But did you watch in the early days?
I've been watching since 1.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And Goldberg's been around since I don't know when, but he's
-1.
Long time. Actually, I got to meet.
I don't know
Goldberg.
that he wasn't there at 1. No, he wasn't there at 1.
I met Goldberg last year and got to chat with him a bit. I did my impression of him. You did.
Oh, really?
His response.
It's funny we're calling him Goldberg just like that, even though there's Goldberg. It's like a famous wrestler.
Goldie. I was just start calling him. I was like, there's a big line. I was at the weigh-ins and there's a big line of people around him to meet him, and I was like, nah, fuck that. I was standing right beside Carlos Condit, and I was like, Carlos, what's up, man? And just as I was about to be like, I think this might be Carlos's one of his last fights. So I was thinking about like, hey man, just grab a photo. I don't know. I never fucking do that, but I was thinking like it's gonna be one of his last fights. Yeah. So I was standing right next to Carlos. He responded and was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And then he got wrangled away.
Oh man!
So I was like, "Fuck this!"
Which card was it? What card?
The last Vancouver card. Actually.
Okay, yeah, I've been to them.
The weigh-ins were dope, but Carlos gets whisked away, and I turned around and Goldberg's standing there, and I was like, I don't know about this. And my fiance, she's like, just do it. Do your impression to him. And I was like, fuck. Because like, honestly, the worst thing you can do is do your impressions of people to the person. Because like, they're the genuine article. What's the best you could do, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, foregoing all that obvious wisdom, I meet him and I was like, yeah, people say I do a decent Mike Goldberg impression. I didn't know how to fucking intro it to him.
Well, that's how people intro.
Yeah,
that's celebrity. That's how they say. Like people tell me. Yeah. Goldberg's like, oh, fuck.
That was a 6 out of 10.
Goldberg's
intro.
Like,
I was like, people have remarked to me in the past.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like, well, let's hear it.
Oh, he did. Yeah, what a geek.
So he wanted to hear it, and so it was quiet for like 5 seconds, and I was like, our tale of the tape, brought to you in part by.
Oh, that's good though. That is good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Can you do other things or just that one?
I can do a lot.
Like you can talk like him. You could just say things like do your impression and be like as a character. I mean, you could be funny and stuff. You couldn't just do things he says.
His own weight is almost 400 pounds.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But you're definitely better on the. You're clearly can do the. Yeah, you're clearly that's.
Brought to you in part by Gatorade.
Yeah, you have your anchors.
Definitely, yo, my dad. That's exactly what I call. Yeah, the anchor. If I can start with that, I can basically do it. Just like my Kyle Bottom earlier is my dad. My dad.
Yeah, that's what they say in impressions. You're supposed to get anchors.
Anchor. I can
things that you
I can think of it. And
and then you go back to those things when you're losing it or whatever.
Totally. And I did that. So I did my impression for him, and he was like, he's like, okay. I mean, to be fair, I can't really do you, so let's call it even. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
That's his line that he says.
That's not the first time that's happened.
No, that's his line that he uses. You know, he's got it like all ready to go.
In my heart, though, I was like, oh, this is a classy way of saying, okay, go fuck yourself.
I would have been like, hey, Goldberg, you fucking suck.
No. In his voice?
No, he's...
Hey, Goldberg, you fucking suck.
Yeah, no, Goldberg was good. I liked the way that him and Rogan... Yeah, no,
they had a good energy.
Totally.
I loved it. Yeah. It's the voice of, like, seriously, it's
Rogan,
a whole
what
era.
a scumbag, though, eh? Did you hear about him being a scumbag now? Everyone thinks he's a scumbag.
What's that about? The DC thing?
Because of the DC interview.
That's so stupid. First of all...
Wait,
what was this?
You think it's stupid to think he's a scumbag for it?
Yeah.
No. He is a scumbag.
What happened?
What
happened?
Wait.
He admits to being a scumbag for it. Sorry, go on.
Let's explain so people don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, in the past year, Joe Rogan has stated that he doesn't think that you should interview recently TKO'd or KO'd fighters because of the concussive elements and because you're just not yourself.
Totally.
You might say something that's not real. You might embarrass or damage your brand, etc. You're just not yourself.
Imagine he just said something so crazy.
Well, it's weird, so
it's like Puerto Ricans shouldn't be allowed to go to the supermarket. And then they're like,
you know who you are.
Totally over.
Well, with that, he's been pretty vocal about it. Like as vocal as like a couple days before the fight, saying like he would not interview.
As vocal as saying it on interviewing.
Yeah.
I don't usually interview people who have recently been knocked out as he put the microphone into his face. Wow.
So by his own admission, he was like, yeah, I fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. I know I definitely said I don't want to do it. But I got to tell you, as a fan, I wanted to hear what DC had to say.
It's funny to see some big tough guy crying like a little.
I didn't want to see the tears.
No,
like because I was hard pulling for DC in that fight.
Yeah, I love DC too. But, although Jon Jones said some inspirational stuff afterwards that I did enjoy. For real.
Get the fuck out of here, Chris.
I'm dead serious.
Get the fuck out of here.
He said he was saying how he's just like because he's let everyone down when he was talking about how he let everyone down and he's just
break it down for me.
Yeah, well, he said just so you know, even if you've let everyone down, like it's not done unless you quit. Like it's not over. Like because he's like
he read that on the back of a shampoo bottle or something. There's no way he really believes that.
I think he believes it. Yeah, for real. Because I think he was like a real fuck up, and there's no reason for him to say it otherwise. You know, he doesn't have a whole
One thing about guys like Jones are it's just a matter of fucking time.
Oh, for sure. Without a doubt. He'll do it again.
Like,
doesn't mean he's not
that guy doesn't ever drive again, he should be okay.
Yeah.
They should have an armada of fucking handlers. Hey, how are you? People on the street. Nice. That's one cool aspect of having the show on the
You think
street.
that's cool that they just interrupted the show
just
like
ruined
that?
Just
ruined the flow of the show while
you're supposed to get 10% engagement.
Yeah,
wow.
one of the cool things is you can be distracted.
Yeah, you're like, I like
idiots who the type of idiots who fucking go watch construction sites.
That's like an older person thing, though. They just like hang out. They're walking by, like to set up shop.
They have those little
watching construction.
I use that one sometimes.
That's fucking funny. Look at him go, bulldozer.
Yeah, the type of person for sure that does that.
That's fucking funny.
I guess I'm very lonely.
I was losing my point. Basically, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. All I'm saying is like.
Jon Jones.
I can't tell if you're taking the piss or not.
No, I'm not taking the piss. I thought it was cool because I've fucked up a lot, and I thought to myself, "Hey, if I was in Jon Jones's position, how would I approach this?" He knows he's disappointed so many fans. He was at the peak of his career, and he did a bunch of coke and crashed his car, and like was just fucked it all up.
Fucked up so bad.
Totally.
The hit and run was bad.
Yeah, so bad.
He should be in jail for that.
Yeah,
agreed. Yeah, for sure.
He should be in jail.
Yeah, he should have gone to jail for it.
I don't
probably.
know. I know a lot of people that would be in jail.
Yeah,
if they're in his position.
Yeah, probably. But the idea is that he's not kind of, there's two ways he could go. He could say, all right, fuck it. Now I'm a fucking guy who does drugs and gets some hit and runs.
That's what I wanted.
Most people want full heel from Jones.
Full heel villain.
Yeah, you wanted him to go full heel and just have
if he would have came out with Elton John Coke shades to every presser and was like, I'm not taking these off until my binge is over or something like that, I would have.
But he wouldn't be able to fight. They wouldn't let him fight.
Is it restricted drug? Is cocaine?
It's actually check this out. It's only banned in the sense that it's illegal
substance.
like in a criminal sense.
Yeah.
But it's not banned on the.
But
you can't double down on that.
It's illegal makes it banned.
Yeah, USADA, their ban list doesn't actually include it, which is why there was the weird.
But it also doesn't include like murder. And so that's also banned.
Sure. Good point.
Yeah. So that's an illegality.
You test positive for first-degree murder.
Yeah, you tested positive for what? Joe's son.
Yeah.
Wait, do you guys know Joe's son?
What are you talking about?
Joe's son was in the original UFC.
Oh fuck!
You know.
Yes.
And he gets his dick punched a bunch and he's in that famous video that went viral. It's still, you can see it sometimes, where the guy's got him in he's got him in some real vulnerable position, and he's just, it's in the early when they had no rules.
He had him
punch a guy's dick.
He had him in a crucifix position.
That's what. Yeah,
he
for
was
sure.
just hammering,
just punching him square in the balls, and
no rules.
So it was perfectly legal, and he won the fight as a result. I forget who the guy who was fighting him.
That's a good move.
But it turned out that it was also a great move, because it turns out this Joe Son guy was a rapist.
Hard rapist.
He had gang raped this girl. Yeah. He didn't know it, but it had happened before the fight. And then he was found guilty of it afterwards. Right. He's also Random Task in the Austin Powers movies.
Yes, he is.
Random Task.
Which is weird with that GIF that we were just watching.
Yeah.
That's weird how
But yeah, so he, and then he went to prison, murdered his cellmate.
Yeah.
But I was talking about it. I mean, obviously, all negative things. A lot of negative things in his life.
Positivity there.
A real life lived. Jesus. Do you know what I mean? Like a real life.
Tried some shit.
And of course, I don't want to minimize the fact that whatever happened to his victims, because it's horrific. But he was in Austin Powers, original UFC, prison, murder.
That's a lot of check boxes.
That is a perfect example.
I didn't say a life well lived.
No,
a life lived.
A perfect example of that delivery I was talking about. That snuck up on me so hard just now. Holy fuck. That was really good. Jesus Christ. I love that you knew so much about his backstory.
Yeah, that's the type of thing that fascinates me.
Can you pull him up as Random Task?
It's
just
Joe
really quick so
S-O-N.
you can see him?
Joe S-O-N is how you spell it. Yeah. Yeah, I am obsessed with people like that, to be honest. I mean, I like
Joe, like Joe's.
That's him.
That's him, right?
Yeah, that's him. There he is. I think that's a mugshot.
That's his mugshot. Show me the image. Just Google images that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, there he is.
Look at him.
Who throws a shoe? That's the famous scene. If you guys remember in Austin Powers, he throws a shoe and hits him.
I couldn't remember. I thought
Yeah, see, there he is with the shoe. He whips his shoe at him, and then Austin Powers says, "Who throws a shoe?" Honestly, and people would use
seriously, who throws a shoe?
Yeah, and then dumb people would use that line for 2 years afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Why do people just hang on to one fucking catchphrase?
Well, I don't know.
Until it becomes a t-shirt.
As a comedian, I don't know that, and it's frustrating sometimes that people love that, but it's familiarity. It's the same in music. It's the same thing that people love that. It's like it's an anchor for them that they go back to, and it's like a nice
shared
feeling.
Experience, shared cultural experience.
That's true as well, yeah.
Let's run the Cocoon really quick, and then we'll do some news reaction here. We've got some pieces I see C-Mart's pulled up there. Let's run this Cocoon really quick. So it starts off as a joke, original content, and then it becomes a popular phrase and saying. Then it morphs from that into like a bastardized version, i.e., Luke, I am your father kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's not even the actual line, that kind of thing. And then it morphs into a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And once it reaches t-shirt phase, then it goes to Value Village phase. And once it gets to that discount.
Wait. Hang on, though. I might have another one that goes online because it could be appropriated for meme purposes at some point later on down the line, where you take this saying and then you use some other, like a character from Family Guy saying it, and then it's all of a sudden a funny
new
meme.
life.
Yeah.
Or Luke, I am your blank.
That's yeah.
Because then it's just like it's a whatever. It's an open-ended thing. Yeah.
That's true. Luke, I am your Bannon.
I think you know what the weird one, Covfefe or whatever that thing is. That's the weird one, having that Trump account, is they're still using that really aggressively there, like super aggressively. Like 1 out of every 4 or 5 will have it in their Twitter name. And I don't still quite understand.
Change the Twitter name, or is it in the handle?
No, it's not in the handle. It's in the name. Okay. That's what I'm saying. So you can change that.
I see. Yeah.
That's virtue signaling, like a
but it's really strange to me because I guess the idea is that people were making fun of it, and then it's the idea that it's their butt hurt over it, so let's keep using it. But I don't know. It's really gone because that was a long time ago. It feels like.
You think
and it's like it's the number one thing.
In internet age, it's like
deplorable, Kofifi. Deplorable Kofifi. Like a lot of their names will just be like Deplorable Kofifi, Kofifi Deplorable.
Just yeah.
Anyways, that's what I'm really.
So do you have an account on the Donald as well?
Sorry?
On the Reddit subreddit?
Oh no, I'm not on Reddit all that much. I find Reddit.
I'm not either.
I find Reddit to be a even more horrific place than YouTube, and somewhere that I can't even handle a lot of the time. You know, 4chan is the worst.
Yeah, Twitch chat is up there. Twitch chat.
Oh, I'm
solidly
not.
Bad.
Oh, just Twitch, like
just
gaming.
Chat.
Oh,
just
absolutely.
The chat.
What do you got for me? What's going on today? What's happening?
I don't know.
What do you got for me, C-Mart?
Kittens?
What's up, bro? What is this?
Oh, they're not doing anything.
What is it? How do you say that? Catarsians?
Yeah.
Catarsians.
Keeping up with the Catarsians.
I have a kitten.
Do you? What's your kitten's name?
Oh, really?
Its name is Cat with a K. But it has all kinds
is he
of
on
names.
This show?
Because
hold on, is this a live stream?
Yep.
Yeah, this is dope.
Sorry, you're saying? Go ahead.
Well, I got a kitten. Yeah, and it has a bunch, because my family always just gives a bunch of different names to animals. You know, like they're always changing and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like like the crazed one is what she goes by when she's really like out of control, or Squeaky D, because she squeaks like when she meows. Nice. She squeaks, you know. But yeah, I got. Oh, do you want to hear my stand-up joke
Sounds like
about
a Coke dealer.
Do you want to hear my stand-up joke about my cat?
Please go ahead.
Because I don't want to. Sometimes people just tell their thing
sure
as if it's an anecdote, as if it's something. This is the only joke I've written.
Are you sure you want to burn it on this show?
I don't care. That's the only joke I've written after my album. Okay, so it's about how I got my cat, and then my neighbors I was like, oh, it's no problem. There's technically no pets, but it doesn't matter. You know, like it doesn't matter because my landlord's shit. He doesn't care about that stuff. But then they evicted a person down the hall for having a dog right afterwards. And so I got really concerned with having this cat that I couldn't let anyone know that I had it. So I was like hypersensitive to like telling anyone that I had this animal.
Secret cat.
So somebody asked me like above me, because it's so thin, the walls, and my neighbor was like, hey, do you have like a pet? Like, do you have a pet by any chance? Like do you have a cat?
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, I don't. Like, I don't know why you'd say that. Like, I definitely don't.
Yeah, that's very rude of you.
I was like, there's no pets in the building. Like, definitely I don't. Like, and then she was like, because she can hear me talking. She's like, are you sure you don't? Because I think I hear you talking to a cat. So, you know, and I was like so mad that she's still pressing.
Yeah, you're like, what do you mean? Am I lying?
And I'm like, I was like, I just came with a lie. I was like, it's probably my girlfriend who comes by. Like, it's probably a girlfriend of mine who comes by that you're hearing me talk to.
Yeah.
And she's like, are you sure? Because the other day you were saying how she's not allowed to go outside. And then I'm like, no, yeah. Anyway, that's like, there's more to the joke, but
there's a few tags in there.
Well, there's like a punchline to it where I say, why don't you just believe that I'm a dangerously controlling misogynist?
Yeah.
Who's following all of the no pet rules.
It's so hard to believe.
Yeah. With 100 Twitter accounts.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Side note, your smoking bit is fucking hilarious.
Which one? Which smoking?
Your smoking joke is fucking hilarious.
Oh, I don't know the one.
You don't know your own joke.
I swear to God, I don't know what one you're referring to.
I'll tell you off air because I want to explain.
Yeah, don't want to just say my joke.
No,
Wait, we all just saw how that went when I said one of my jokes. You know.
What's going on? So what is it? There's like cameras and stuff.
Yeah, I just wanted to see that.
It's
nighttime.
Oh,
so this
going to bed.
This is an Icelandic stream.
Very cool.
Oh,
and what's cool is that what's interesting anyway is that this is the president of Iceland there.
Oh, very cool.
So they like decorated this house.
Oh yeah, there's a little like the downstairs.
Who are the cats on the wall?
I think those are all them. I'm not sure. But there's different rooms where they hang out. There's a little bathtub.
So they're like, where's the show?
People love this shit.
Oh, dude, it's been online forever. There's a little downstairs.
Like they probably have like 1 million subscribers on their thing, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually.
Chris, we should just get your cat and my cats.
Yeah, you have cats?
I have 2 cats.
Oh, we also have this here.
Oh, shit. So C-Mart sent me this today, and first of all, I wanted to get Chris's reaction on this today because this is interesting. Some guy posted this on, what was the forum?
I don't know what it was. Okay. I think it's just
black. I see pill.
All right, let me read this.
Yeah.
There's a red pill. So
this is someone's really twisted post, and I laughed
Who's this
so
person?
hard. I have no idea.
I don't know.
I have no idea. Just
do you not have their name? You should put their name up.
No.
Whenever somebody puts a bad post, I like to dox them.
We've been over this.
It's like apparently
put their name and their information. You know, a guy wrote a column in the 24 Hours about how there shouldn't be transgender in the military. in the 24 Hours magazine, the daily thing.
Really?
And then I found his cell phone number and called him today.
No.
Yeah, I had
Really?
a 45-minute debate with him about it.
Oh, he reciprocated with
Did you do it for the show or
No,
just?
I just did it. I didn't record it. I didn't record it, so it's not for the show. But he's gonna have me on his podcast.
Oh, what? This person also has a podcast?
Well, he's like a big TV guy, and
I'm
like
like,
he has a column in 24
okay.
hours and stuff. He's
I'm like, wait a minute.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a lot of.
Oh, I thought it was
good
like
content.
I thought it was like just like one of those like letter to the editor.
No,
kind of
this is he has a weekly opinion column called The Duel where he duels with the
liberal. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Brent Stafford is his name.
Yes,
that's his name. If you want his cell phone
I've
number,
actually in my head.
He posts it publicly. I didn't
invited him, having him on the show. Actually,
having Brent Stafford on.
Yes. Would you both come on?
Yeah. I would come on and do it here. Yeah, he would maybe do it in that sense. That would be great, and we could debate the transgender issue. Would you be willing?
I would moderate.
Oh, that would be cool. I would.
Fuck yeah.
He would probably feel like he's
a little teamed up.
Yeah, because he was always saying that he's just like he didn't want to have a debate with me because you're gonna screw with me.
No, he can watch my Flat Earther episode where I moderated very, very cleanly, and I was even complimented on it.
But you're a flat earther.
I am not. You spherical.
How come everybody doesn't fall off the bottom?
Let me read this.
Hey, did you ever think about that? Sorry. Why doesn't everyone fall off the bottom of the globe?
Because it's a cone. I don't know. No, because it's a.
I've already won the debate.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no
Earth
debate.
Is flat.
There is no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's post.
Oh sure.
Oh yeah.
This guy's crazy though. Look at this post.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was reading.
Tomorrow. This is from a post, ladies and gentlemen. Audio only listeners. This is a post on the internet, crazy that C-Mart found. This is a guy in a thread called Black Pill. Tomorrow I will begin my mission of making women's lives difficult. As I mentioned in this thread, I want to make women's lives difficult, and tomorrow I will begin to do everything I laid out in that thread. I will check women out and attempt to have conversations with them to truly offend them. I will spend a week doing this and recording my results. During that week, I will not be active on the sub, purely because I want to spend a lot of time doing this. If you have to advise people when you're going to be online, that's a major fail right there. After the week is up, I will come back with a field report on all the reactions I have received and will hopefully force the normies to swallow a truly potent black pill. Jesus Christ. To further prove a point, I will have a shave.
He's British.
Yeah, this must be British. Yeah, I will have a shave.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
To further prove a point, I will have a shave.
Internet right there.
That's right. Yeah, Chris is like definitely British ready. So that I will have a shave so that I am clean shaven. I will also shower and brush my teeth every day, also known as, normal, but whatever. I don't even think you need to write that. Whatever. But I think
the indication is that he doesn't do that every day.
That's fucked up. Which is
not clean himself regularly.
I will also be wearing deodorant. Yeah, look. I will also be wearing deodorant and fresh clothes. So any negative reactions I receive will not be because of poor hygiene. I will also be extra careful with how I approach women so as not to get into trouble. Goodbye, and I hope to see all my brothers next week for the big black pill. Now, what the fucking fuck is this?
I would make, because he says in the
beginning... Do you know what that is? We don't know what black pill is.
Well, it's similar to the red pill.
It's gotta be. But I assume it's like dark.
It's a takeoff on the red pill.
What's red pill?
Well,
for our listeners,
it has to do with like men's rights activists use it all the time about people who have people who have swallowed the red pill, meaning that they just believe
like pickup artist shit too, right?
Yeah.
Is that it? Like nagging?
I don't know. There's some sort of like X red pill.
What's this?
I don't know.
Go to red pill. Go look up red pill and then look up what red pill is. Look up the actual definition.
You sound like a bunch of fucking weak.
What it is? There's somebody who wrote a book or.
Oh, you just want the non-Reddit
strategy.
Yeah. I just want to.
Jesus Christ! I gotta be honest.
Yeah, it's a film. Sorry.
This kind of stuff. I'm fascinated by the people that align.
Yeah, it's men's rights.
Stuff. So it's definitely men's rights stuff. But I just don't know the specific meaning of swallowing the red pill, like what they referred to. I know that it's used heavily by.
Yeah, it must mean like.
But I think that guy who was saying that he's going to spend the week making women's lives more difficult. I would think that he's probably made women's
doing
lives
just fine.
Yeah, I think he's already making women's lives more difficult regularly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he has to change things too much.
It's like I've not noticed any
But
difference.
I guess, I mean, the idea that he's trying to say, I think what he's trying to say is that he's saying, like, I'm just going to go up and talk to women and be, like, social, but that's some terrible, terrible thing. You know, like I think he's like sort of mocking that idea that like, that's what I feel like there's some element of that. You know,
speaking of taking the piss, it did seem like he was kind of like tongue in cheek a little bit.
A little bit, because it almost like
it seemed like
because the idea I'm going to make women's lives more difficult. I think he's speaking on behalf of the other side. I think that's what he's saying. He's not actually saying my goal is to go out and do that. I don't think. I could be wrong.
If he came back and was like, I actually got like 3 numbers and a date.
And he's like, I met this woman and she's the love of my life.
And we're actually engaged. We're engaged now. So peace, black.
See you later.
Turns out if you're just nice and actually have decent hygiene.
She told me I'm not supposed to do this anymore. So
I'm out now. Yeah, I'm out, bro.
She said.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I love when you called. Just another side note before we read this next article. I love that you called Kurt Schilling out on announcing he'd run in politics and having to back out.
Well, he said that he was he went on a radio show. It's one of my favorite stories. He went on the radio show and he's like, I'm going to take on Elizabeth Warren for the senator. She's like a famous American.
She's like long.
Very well respected, long-time politician. But he's like, I'm going to take her on. And he's like, I just have to ask my wife's permission, kind of jokingly, but I'm doing this. We're making the run. He said it on radio. And then he just slowly sort of stop talking about it, and then so I would call him on it, like call him and be like, hey, I'm so excited for you to take down, and then he's like, no, I'm not doing that anymore.
Your show is so good.
And then I was like, why? I was like, what happened? I was like, you went on the radio show, you said you just need to ask your wife's permission. I was like, don't tell me your wife said you can't do it. And then he's just like, no. Yeah, you could tell it really hit a chord with him. That he's like, no, I make my own decisions,
Not even a show, folks.
Yeah. Please. That's the one thing. Please, if you watch this, just even go click on it and leave it playing in the browser.
Don't even listen.
Don't even watch or listen to it. I don't even care. I just want the views to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even a show. So.
And click like on it so the likes go up, so it doesn't seem like it, because when there's low likes and high views, people realize that there's something awry.
You should be getting 10% engagement minimum.
Yeah,
10% engagement.
Yeah, he knows that's from the show. That's a big from the show. Yeah,
not show.
Social media.
Let's read this next article here.
Okay.
It's not an article. It's just a thing.
It's not even an article.
Oh, what is it? It's not.
It's just CelticCastles.com is fucking sweet. I don't know if you've seen this.
What do you mean CelticCastles.com?
Oh, that is cool.
If you want to stay in a castle in Europe.
Let me read this.
This is almost too many castles.
Title gore right here. Almost too many reasons to stay at Forder Castle.
Is it a clickbait?
Almost?
I don't know.
Wait a minute.
It seems like a clickbait.
But it's pretty sweet.
What is this website, though?
It's just called Celtic Castles, and you can rent rooms or the whole castle.
Get rid of that. Super red.
And you just stay there. It's like between $300 and $2,000 a night at these various things.
Let me read this. The Forder Castle was originally built in 1560. It was destroyed in 1640.
Classic. 1640 move.
Where is this? In Scotland?
Yeah, this one is.
This seems like
somewhere, but it's just sweet.
This is some eyes wide shut shit. Like,
where do
we throw our next party?
Like when you can book the whole castle, book an entire castle.
Oh my god, there's a button. Yeah. Book an entire castle.
This is where the weird shit happens for sure.
So this is the actual website to do the booking.
Yeah.
Okay, let's find the
and then so you can go. These are the ones. I don't know.
Whoa.
Like this one's really nice.
Oh,
click Blair Quan Han Castle, whatever the fuck. This one's a Scottish castle. How much does this one cost? Oh my god, luxury 5-star exclusive.
I mean, it's going to be very expensive.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Wait.
Tariff. It's always under tariff.
Tariff. What do you think it's going to be a month?
Oh, this queen. Oh, first of all, it's $5,000 a night in the high season.
$5,000 a night.
That's just
I assume you get a bit of a bulk deal, but at the same time.
Hold on, just be clear. It's 5,000 pounds.
5,000 pounds. Yeah.
I don't even know what the pound is at.
It'd probably be about
it's okay.
$8,500. Yeah,
it's crazy.
To 5,000, it'd be about 8,500.
But you can also, it's just a.
Wow, that's really crazy though that you can have a whole castle.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Dude, you know what's really dope about having a castle is first of all,
Well, it's fortified.
Everyone.
It's good in a siege.
I would imagine if you have a castle, you have financial security. And that's a nice feeling, you know, not have to worry about bills and stuff.
It was literally the best. It was like the BMW of the medieval times.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was like...
if the BMW also authority or like asserted like your political and military power.
Yes, over everybody in your jurisdiction.
It was a feudal
in that
BMW.
way, it's exactly like a BMW.
Yeah, totally.
It's another clear equivalent that we've developed here. Chris, you're a very funny fella.
Yeah,
How
true.
How can people follow you online if they want to do so?
I disagreed about the genius, but I agree.
I didn't.
Kind of
hold on.
You said I was a genius.
I said you were brilliant.
Oh.
I believe the record will show genius, but
no, I think he said brilliant. He might be right. No, he said genius because brilliant I wouldn't care. Brilliant isn't like genius. When someone says genius, it's like it feels like it's like
disingenuous.
Pressure. Well, it feels like it's like. Yeah, like it feels like no one could actually think I'm a genius. You know what I mean? Like, in all fairness, people could think I'm smart or something.
Sure, so I was like, I'm like, no, you're brilliant because you are brilliant. It takes skill to do what you do and to have the skill set you have and to expand on it.
You have to wake up at 6 a.m.
That's dedication. The brilliance just to think that like
I don't have a job, by the way.
Yeah, well,
just so everybody knows that, like I don't have to go to work after. This is all I do. So it makes it a little easier. I can go back to bed after.
Sure, it's pretty rad though.
Yeah. Where can people check me out?
Not Even a Show is available on YouTube.
Yeah.
And where can people follow you online?
Yeah, on Twitter, but the Not Even a Show is what I care about people following. And it's on Facebook, Not Even a Show, facebook.com/Not Even a Show, and then at Not Even a Show on Twitter. And then, we don't even have 50 subscribers, so we can't get youtube.com/Not Even a Show. You need 50 subscribers. We have like 40 or 38 or something. So that's
how
folks,
we can help out with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sure we can help out
if there's one thing that it would be nice to get to 50.
12 people.
But yeah.
Well, 12 of y'all.
But you can search it, Not Even a Show on YouTube. And then, you can find me at the CJS is my personal Twitter.
I'm going to recommend that you go uniform.
What's that?
Where everything is the same name.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to
Are you trying to tell me that there's no Chris James available out there for you?
What do you mean, like on Twitter?
Obviously, because we
talked about I got it like 7 years ago when I probably could have. Just another thing that I had a thing called the Chris James Show that I did on my brother's magazine website. And so I got at the CJS because I thought it was good.
It is.
But it turns out, no, it's not.
Oh, no?
It's very bad. Because I also don't have my name. Like my name is Profile Updater or like some stupid thing that I change all the time. So there's no way to find me. People will try to. They'll try to tag me in things for events and they can't find me.
We're going to have a discussion.
Yeah. No, hey, trust me, you'll be talking to a brick wall. I'm set in my ways.
Speaking of brick wall, our audience has been doing fantastic by listening to us. Wait a minute. Is this Inside Out playing behind me?
Yeah.
Hopefully the algorithm doesn't pick up the corner of the screen that Pixar has going on there. That's pretty rad. Usually it's like seals and things. I've never seen them show a movie like that. Yeah, it's usually like polar bears and stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're so inclined, we'd love it if you'd follow Intergalactic Interviews. Maybe you're visiting us from Not Even a Show and you're a listener over there. Or
I'll post about it, so maybe.
That's right, yeah. If you guys want to come and check out Intergalactic Interviews, we'd love to have you. If you really enjoy it, write us a review. That's the best thing you can do for us. We appreciate all of the support and all the listens and views and everything every week. You guys have, I don't know, you guys have me over a barrel. Whatever you want, I'm going to do it pretty much for the rest of my life, I realize.
Make them do crazy sexual stuff, everybody.
That's why the barrel's there.
Hey, but wait a second. People were supposed to review? What does that do?
Well, I like reviews.
On what? What do they review?
iTunes, I believe.
Oh, I'm not on iTunes.
Oh, well, bro.
So I was trying to get tips from you on how
you're more of a visual medium though with your show.
Yeah. Although a lot of this stuff is phone calls. But I do.
Which is funny. But but your visual edits are like really that's half of it for sure.
For sure.
But yeah, I think this has been tremendous. We hope you'll come back real soon, dude.
I would come back anytime. For sure. You asked me a long time ago to do it, and then I was like, I wanted to, and I just one of those things. I'm really shitty, and I forget about stuff.
We would see each other at shows, and I'd be like, dude, you want to come to the show? I'd be like, yeah, I knew it would work out. I knew it would totally work out.
I'm glad you kept doing it for so long.
Yeah, imagine you hit me up and you're like, I'm ready now. And I'm like, I don't do that anymore, actually.
Congratulations. Yeah. No, that's really cool, honestly, that you've 141 episodes is cool and you have viewers and listeners. And yeah,
it's pretty
awesome.
rad. Yeah. Except last week when I had a migraine. And we were supposed to have Wes Barker on last week. He just got married.
Oh, yes, indeed he did.
He just broke 100,000 subscribers. God damn. Last time we had him on the show, he had 20,000 subscribers. So holy fuck, Wes.
Oh, man.
Putting in work.
I gotta talk to that guy.
Numbers, son. Yeah.
Sometimes, by the way, my mom gets migraines, so I understand.
Yeah, migraines are tough. So I was having migraines, and I've said this oftentimes, though. When you miss a week doing the show, it's like missing the gym or something. You're just like, you feel so shitty all week. And then when it comes to this week, you're like, okay, I'm going to go extra fucking hard this time. And then you overexert yourself, and then you're like, fuck. So you don't catch up for like 2 or 3 episodes, basically.
So you're saying this is a shit episode?
No, I'm saying this is my manic episode where I go extra hard manic. And then next week I'll be low. Yeah. And then 3rd week from now I'll be back normal.
Oh, that's cool. Do you have bipolar?
Yeah. Why are you so hard to nail down on Monday? Like
by hosting polar? Yeah.
I thought I had bipolar my whole life, and then it turned out I didn't.
It seems like it's a pretty catastrophic.
Yeah. They were wrong about it.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Turns out I was just from a small town.
No. Turns out I just had childhood trauma.
Jesus Christ.
Everybody has childhood trauma. What are you, Jesus Christ, think about?
I feel like we need to bring... Well, because... I feel like I wanted to get into
because you have childhood trauma and reminded you.
No, I don't want to talk about it. No. I'm here with alt-right activist. No. But we can explore that next episode. You want to come on and do it?
Oh, yeah. Let's explore childhood trauma. No,
okay.
Wait, what we could do is we could have that Brent Stafford guy on.
We'll
have a debate about transgender, and then we'll
talk soft transition into some
childhood
CT
trauma. Yeah.
Set this up.
CT.
Just say, hey, my friend Jayme has a show. He would love to moderate it.
He'll do it. No,
don't even introduce me as friend.
You should talk to him. You should send him a message. Say, I just had this fella on my show. Swear to God, I just had this fella on my show, and he mentioned your article, and I know you, and I was thinking this would be that would be the best way to do it. Yeah. If you just send him a message and say, hey. Because
then hopefully he doesn't watch this and prep and realize that we just planned this whole thing.
Oh, yeah, he wouldn't. He's like some old guy.
That'll be his intro. So I just want to rebuttal that I'm not an old guy.
He told me he doesn't.
He's like 31.
Yeah. Well, he's old and he has a master's degree and stuff. Jesus. I still think I'll win.
Confidence from Chris James, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm a genius.
All right, folks. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you all next week. Goodbye.